Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the Table GTA. We are starting season 4, and before you tune into it any further, if it's on YouTube or anything that has likes, please hit the like button so we could get some more traction. This season, I'm going to be trying to do different things to work with the algorithm, but for the most part, it's going to be the same old stuff. This episode is about making it easy, and that's all we have to do to kind of progress. Sometimes it's best to make it easy for yourself, right? Recently, I've been doing different things to kind of get me back into my whole motion of things, right? When I feel like doing an episode, I'll either start an episode or I'll find an image that reflects the episode so that I could put it there, and then I'll have the episode title. I didn't know what I wanted to do for this episode, but I know that for episode 3, I already had an idea for it. I found a picture. All my thoughts came in and out, but because I have that picture, because I have that title there, I know what I'm going to talk about. And that's going to be my process for the rest of the season. And also kind of trying to make things more relatable. Not necessarily like what I'm talking about isn't relatable, but kind of have everything in a certain type for the season. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. But either way, it's all about making things easier for yourself. Recently, I've been having trouble waking up, even though I have tips from season 1 and 2 on how to get your day started and everything, but it just wasn't working the same as usual. So, what I did basically was I found a song that I really liked, and instead of waking up to the song, what I'm doing now is if I want to do an activity, I'm going to correlate that with the song. Because, like, even now, my alarm, anytime I hear that song, because it is a song, it makes me either want to wake up, get into a little bit of a rush because I've hit snooze too much, or it makes me a little bit sleepy because I'm hitting the snooze button. I'm falling into old habits, and it's very easy to do that when you're not staying disciplined. So, what you can do is just make things easier for yourself. This is kind of like a recap episode, but it's the more modern version, if that makes sense. I'm not copping out, guys. It's just that it's really hard to talk about similar things because everything kind of ties into everything eventually, especially when it comes to mindset or self help or just concentrating or even boosting yourself. You'll find yourself speaking about the same things, but maybe focusing in on a certain part more than ever. But just to get myself out of going into a rant, you need to prepare yourself. Like, let's say you want to go running in the morning, right? Have your outfit ready. Get that stuff done the night before. Make sure you get some sleep. Think about the route that you want to run so that when you wake up, it's there. If you're a person that feels pressure or anxiety from doing all of that, do it in small increments. Maybe put your shoes by the door, all right? Or have part of the outfit there. Or, you could use a friend to help you as a reminder because that may motivate you, or it might put a little bit less pressure because it's not you pressuring you, it's your friend pressuring you, if that makes sense. Maybe you're a person, you're a people pleaser, right? And you don't want to let someone down, so get someone that you value their opinion, or someone that really matters to you, or someone who your words or their words like echo in your head. So get that person on your team to help you be a better version of yourself. And the thing is, it's not always going to be easy to make something easy. Sometimes you have to put in the work to make that easier. You don't just jump from doing one pull up to 20 pull ups. You have to find a method, whether it's studying, whether it's using an alternate way to do pull ups. Maybe it's even doing another exercise that gives you that body strength to achieve that goal. You could also look at how other people take in information. A big thing that I've learned from training people And no, I'm not a coach of some sort, but I guess it is coaching. It's that everybody learns differently, and everyone has a different growth rate for whatever they're performing. And it's just that guidance, or breaking it down in a way where a person can understand. So if you want to make, let's say, running easier, you know, don't run every day, or don't run a lot, or start walking fast, just being active. Run with a group. That'll motivate you. Maybe you're a competitive person. You want to be in a group, you want to be the best, right? Recently, I did a bike ride thing for charity for work, and at first, it was my competitive nature that was pushing me, right? But there was someone who completely blew me out of the water. But despite that person being amazing, because they're probably at it at a routine rate, I was able to do 96K in 1 month, not with as much effort, because I'm pretty sure if I did like 5K a day, I could have did a lot more than I did. But it was just that competitive nature there where it's just like, ooh, let me face this person. But when it got to the point where it's just like, there's no way that I could do that much in that amount of time, that was a scrap for me. But that's the thing. You need to know what challenges you. You need to know what puts you off. You need to know what is going to make you continue with it, right? When it comes to tasks, when it comes to challenges, when it comes to improvement, when it comes to getting somewhere you want to be in the future, you need to do it step by step. Sometimes the steps will go a lot faster than you expected, but the core thing to it is pre-planning. And what is pre-planning? Pre-planning is similar to just imagining yourself at that moment, right? Let's say you had $100,000. What would you do with $100,000 if you had $100,000? Right? It's kind of easier to answer that question if you've planned it out already, compared to me just asking you the question, right? If you have your building blocks set, it's easier to transition, and it's easier to see the roadmap in the distance, right? It doesn't have to be so far, especially when you're building up to it, right? Like for me, I wanted to gain X amount of weight, but I didn't put myself in a situation for the longest time to gain that weight. And I wanted to mold it into something else. But while I was gaining weight, I didn't continue to work out. So now it's become a problem because I thought about it partially. I didn't finish the steps. So now I'm at a new challenge. But that's fine, because challenges always equal growth, right? Especially if you can commit to the challenge or continue to go through whatever times it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be a hard time. It's just putting that focus in. And next point will be focus, It's hard to stay focused, especially in this society. I've said it before, with social media, with all these gadgets, with the commercials, buzzers and everything, aging myself here, but back in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s, all these generations before, if you didn't have a TV, some people, they had all the channels. Some people had some channels, right? So it's either you're watching TV, you're reading a book, or you're outside, right? You need to be able to take your focus back, take your attention back, take the time to do what you want, right? Because as we have these scrolling wars, right? Whether you're scrolling on IG or scrolling on YouTube or you're scrolling on TikTok, or, if you're scrolling on Facebook, whatever thing that you use for social media, even if it's not social media, maybe it's you checking your group chat all the time. You need to make it easy for yourself to stop doing these things and focus on your goal. Recently, even though it's been a long weekend, happy Canada Day to my Canadian viewers, the people who will be seeing this. I'm going to drop this on Wednesday, so you'll hear it on Wednesday, so it won't be, it'll be past the 4th of July, so happy America Day or Independence Day for Americans. And if you're hearing this on just a random time, happy whatever national day, wherever you're from. Enjoy yourself, enjoy where you live and all the stuff that it brings to you, right? But making things easier is a challenge in itself. But once you make your formula, once you build up a routine, which I've talked about in previous episodes, it'll make it easier. Like I said, for me, I've been spending some time in silence to try to focus on what I need to do next, or see what kind of pulls me to different things, right? Am I reaching for my phone? Am I getting into dark thoughts? Am I daydreaming? What am I doing when I'm not doing anything at all? Sometimes you need that silence. Sometimes you need that space to kind of see where you kind of want to go. And how does that make things easier? Simple. If you're in silence and you could think straight, then that's good. If you're in silence and you can't think straight, that could also be good, but that could also mean that you're avoiding something as well. The easiest way to go through a lot of things is being direct and straightforward. You don't have to go all in a sense. You could do it in increments, right? Let's say you just want to start writing a book, or maybe you want to start rapping. Maybe you want to learn a new instrument. I know I do. The first step is to think about what it is, especially if you're making music. If you're going to be a rapper, are you going to fall into a certain style? Are you just going to make things rap? Are you going to be funny? Are you going to be deep? There's so many options, but at the same time, the more time we spend on it, it makes it a little bit easier. You have to slowly get into the groove before you can get there, all right? If you had everything all at once, it's going to be harder because it's just kind of, I would say it's like overwhelming to an extent, right? I have a friend who was talking about, one of his friends talking about, oh, they want to be a streamer, they want to be a streamer, they want to be a streamer. Being a streamer is hard. Even making podcasts is hard. You know how hard it is to kind of have like stuff off the top of your head, or even with your notes, not staying within the boundaries of your topic or what you want to say, right? Unless you're reading it from script to script, but that's very robotic. I can't do that. You know what? Maybe I think I'm gonna do a Chat GPT episode. That would be pretty cool. I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment if you want to see a Chat GPT episode. But going back to ease and everything, the person got all the stuff. They said that they wanted to do it, but they didn't think about it. They didn't put the work into it. They didn't see what type of streamer they were gonna be. They didn't even practice, right? There's a lot of rappers. I love using rappers, and I've used this reference in so many different episodes, but a lot of rappers talk about things that they do not have. They're clearly making it up, right? But they are putting themselves in a world where they are already there. And that's how ease goes. That's how making things easier goes. You need to envision yourself there. You have $1,000,000 and you're going to buy all of these cars or whatever. Or, you're going to get all of these girls. But how do you get there? You imagine it first, then you go outside, then you start talking to some girls, or you go clothes shopping so you look better, or you start working out so you look a certain way, or maybe you take a course that makes like a public speaking course or whatever, so that you're better with your words, or you go out with your homies that just pull chicks and you see how that environment is. It's easy to think about something, but if you don't put the steps in reality, it's a lot harder. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand, right? It's kind of getting annoying, especially I keep seeing it everywhere. Oh, manifest this, manifest that. Okay, yeah, you're going to manifest it, but if you're not ready for the consequences or even the challenges, you're not going to manifest it. You can't manifest making a lot of money without putting any work in, or maybe buying a lottery ticket, or taking a risk to get to that spot. You have to make things easier for yourself, you know? Um, for example, I was talking to someone at work and we were talking about promotions and stuff. And especially at a workplace like mine, or I think even many workplaces, if you're in a place where it's very company oriented or whatever, you have to do something to put yourself out there. And it doesn't matter how skilled you are, unless you're getting some type of traction or attention from somebody, it's not going to work. And the best thing to do is be on the shift where there's a lot of management. It is more pressure, but the ease of that is that every little thing you do, whether it's good or bad, everybody sees it. So you could be a superstar on nights, but nobody sees it except for the people on nights. So it's not going to get you as far as where you could be if you were on a day shift or on a shift where there was more people. Being or going into things to make things easy is a tactical decision as well, right? It will never start off as easy, right? And if it starts off as way too easy, it's a trap, it's a scam. Uh, that's it. And that's from experience, which may be or may not be an episode in the future. We might talk about that. We might talk about training. We'll talk about a lot of different things because this is what this podcast is about. It's a mindset podcast. It's a podcast to focus on different things and, you know, try to find a way for you to succeed in whatever you're doing, especially if you're making a request. I actually haven't had an episode request in a while. So if you want me to do an episode on a certain topic, yeah, sure, why not? Let me know. Leave it in the comments, DM me. But ultimately, to make things easy, you need to have a plan, you need to have focus, and you need to make a step-by-step kind of process towards it. You have to have a process because without the process, then you could get lost. And when you get lost in planning and trying to do something, you get pulled astray. You get caught up in the drama. You get caught up in nothing and maybe even get burnt out because you don't even know what you're doing. You forgot what you're doing, right? That's why you need to stay focused and get it done. Either way, guys, this is the first episode of season 4. Hope you guys like it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.